Hey guys, well, let's talk about Jake and Logan Paul. And yes, I'm gonna group them together even though they are two separate people with separate channels and all of that. I feel like they have a similar story arc and we can knock them out together. Before we start, if you're new here, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. Let me give you a quick background on why I decided to make this video. I've been really out of the loop with these guys. I had generally heard about these YouTuber brothers with bad behavior and then somewhat inexplicably professional fighting. That's about all I knew. Then a video popped into my feed with the two brothers talking after Jake lost to Tommy Fury. And for some reason I watched it and I felt like they weren't that bad. Jake was owning the loss and learning from it and openly sharing his emotions, and Logan was supporting him win or lose. So I decided to look into them a bit to find out what the real story is. As we do here, we'll look at various aspects of these channels related to cost, language, sex, violence, and more. So let's start with cost. So I, for one, can't get enough of this Prime hydration drink. I had no idea this was a Logan Paul thing until I was already hooked on the stuff. I liked the way the bottle looked, so I tried it and I really liked it. And now I've given Logan Paul a bunch of my money. Good for him though, that's a legitimate way to make some money and a very tasty drink. However, there are a few other money-related things I wanted to bring up. Number one, both brothers have been involved in various scams where innocent people have lost money. And number two, in Jake's thoughtful journaling about his fight loss, one of his biggest complaints was the loss of money. Like, buddy, you're one of the highest paid YouTubers. You need to get a bit of perspective. And finally, if you do want to watch them fight, a lot of that is pay-per-view. So all that is to say their cost rating goes up to about a medium. Next, let's talk about language. I watched several videos and there were plenty of curse words, all bleeped out, but there nonetheless. Also, a few years ago, Jake Paul was trying to make something of himself as a rapper and thought it would be a good idea to use the N-word in some freestyle raps. So, not great role models from a language perspective. I'll set this one to medium-high. The annoying rating is always subjective, but I feel like that's really true today. These guys can be a bit polarizing. It seems like folks either love them or hate them. They have very big personalities, I'll say that. And they also are entertaining and at least moderately talented fighters. For me, I'm glad my kids aren't fans and I don't have to listen to them all day. I'm gonna set this to medium for me, but your opinion may be totally different. On to violence. Well, these guys are professional fighters, so yes, there is violence. However, I do think fighting in a controlled ring with rules is a different thing than a random brawl on the street. But unfortunately, the Paul brothers aren't free from unsanctioned violence either. Here's a clip of Logan getting into a fight with one of his cameramen. So I'm going with medium-high here, since they also do seem to use violence to solve problems some of the time. Last up is sex. Both brothers have been in trouble for various infractions from sexual harassment to sexual assault. I don't really see any positive things to say about them here, but to be fair, most of their content is just a bunch of guys, so there's no sexual angle. But Jake Paul has also been accused of homophobia and transphobia, so again, we're not in great shape. But since this isn't something there in lots of videos, I'll keep it to medium. So where are we at? Well, now I feel a lot more educated on why people don't like these guys. They're kind of typical of bro culture, you know? They're crass and aggressive and misogynistic and insensitive. So rating them today, I say no. This is not good content for kids. But I want to put a bit of an asterisk by that verdict, because from the video I saw after the Tommy Fury fight, it looks like these guys are trying to improve. They're only in their 20s and they've been given this huge position of privilege. I don't know if it's just their branding people telling them they need to clean up their act, but they're looking like they're trying to do better and be better. So I hold out some hope for these guys and maybe I can amend my review one day. But what do you guys think? Are you fans of the Paul brothers or not? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to see what other channels, games, and more are okay for your kids. See you next time.